Alright y'all, welcome back to the channel and to some more turkey patterning, and today we should have a pretty nasty performing combination on our hands. We've tested these shells a little bit previously with some very nice looking results, but this is a new choke and a pretty new shotgun as far as turkey patterning goes anyway for us. So I'm definitely curious to see what it can do, because I think it should give us a very devastating pattern if it works out the way I think it will. But as for the shells we've got today, I brought out some more of the Rocky Ridge TSS loads. These ones are the 12 gauge, 3-inch, 2¼ ounce payload of TSS 9-shot, and they're claiming about 1200 for velocity on these. So these are definitely a pretty stout shell. That's a lot of pellets flying down range, and we know that Rocky Ridge makes some fantastic shells. We've tested these exact shells once or twice, I think last spring, and they patterned well for us, so I've got good hopes for them today as well. Before today's setup, I brought out my old Mossberg 500. It's got a 28-inch barrel on it, and we're going to be running an Avian-X Crusher 665 turkey choke. These Avian-X turkey chokes have always been just absolute hammers in my testing. We've tested the Remington 12 gauge one and the 20 gauge version as well. If you put a decent shell through them, they're going to be lights out. And if you're in the market kind of for that mid-range price choke, you can get these for between 40 and 50 bucks. And they're probably one of the better chokes right in that price range, based on my testing anyway. So we should see some very nice results from this combo if it works out the way I think it will. Before today's test, we're running it the same as usual. I've got the turkey target at 40 yards and the chrono so we can get our velocity. So let's get you guys a view of that target. We'll take our shot and hopefully, fingers crossed, we see some pretty devastating results down there, because I think it's a real possibility. So let's take our shot and see what we get. Okay, I apologize for the little bit of glare. The sun is a little bit all over the place today, but that shell gave us 1201 through the chrono. If they're claiming 1200, then we're right on the money. So nothing out of the ordinary to see up here. Well, let's head down to 40 yards and see what we got for a pattern, because I think it's pretty devastating. Okay, well, now we're down here at our 40-yard paper, and yeah, that is pretty devastating for sure. That is a ton of pellets on the paper. It's a 2¼ ounce payload of 9s. You definitely do not need that many pellets for a TSS shell and a 12 gauge, that's for sure. You don't even really have to run TSS in a 12 gauge when you got something like the Winchester Longbeard shells on the shelf. But if you're a TSS guy, these shells are absolutely gonna hammer. There's no doubt about that. Now, it is a little bit more of a broad and even spread rather than a super tight, super hot core, but that's not entirely surprising for that larger payload either. I would kind of rather see a little bit more of this style pattern from that kind of a payload. Our core is beautifully even. I don't think there's a void anywhere in there at all. We might have favored just a hair off to the left, but it really did not matter one bit. That turkey is absolutely dead to 40 yards all day long, probably 45 and 50 as well without an issue, and it holds that even spread pretty much all the way to the outskirt edges of the pattern. There might be a little void right up here in the top left corner of it, and we did throw a couple small, maybe little strings and flyers around the edges, but nothing major. Maybe a couple down there towards the bottom, but most of our spread is a very nice, even 16 to 18-inch pattern right there across the middle of our paper. So very nice, very huntable combo all day long. I wouldn't hesitate to run that out there to 40 yards all day long. If I'm hunting a field edge, I know that you can probably push that to 45 and 50 as well. So that's just a pretty good all-around hunting pattern. Some people might prefer those super tight hot cores. Some people may prefer a little more spread, a little more breathing room, and this probably bridges that gap pretty well. You've got a ton of pellets right through where you need them to be, and at closer ranges, it's not going to be super screaming tight either. So really, you can't argue with that kind of a result. These shells probably aren't going to be cheap this year with the price of TSS, that's for sure. But if that's the kind of pattern you want, this is a pretty good performing combination, I would say. So yet again, those Avian-X chokes really throw nice patterns. Sometimes they're really tight, other times they're really even. And today we got a pretty even spread there. No real complaints from me. That pattern kind of speaks for itself. It would absolutely be a nasty turkey combo any day of the week. And here's the wad from that shell. Nothing fancy or nothing special. There's nothing stuck down in there. No major damage or anything to it. Looks perfectly fine. So nothing I'm concerned with here, that's for sure. It clearly did the job just fine. All right, y'all. Well, what did you think about that performance right there? It's a pretty nasty pattern. It might not be the tightest, hottest core area we've seen from a TSS load, but that is a lot of shot flying down range. 2¼ ounces of 9s at 1200 is a pretty stout load. You definitely feel it in the recoil department as well, but it would obviously be very deadly to 40, 45, 50 yards. There's not going to be a turkey that makes it through that kind of a pattern. I really like how even that spread is, pretty much completely through the entire pattern as well. Couple tiny little flyers around the edges, but nothing major. So just a flat out great looking hunting pattern overall. If you want a big hefty load of TSS and a pattern like that, seems like this would be a pretty good combination to do it. So leave all your thoughts down below. Is that about what you expected to see? Were you a little surprised one way or the other? Have you tested any of these Rocky Ridge shells? And if so, what kind of results have you seen? Is that a combo you would hunt with? Or would you prefer to see a little bit tighter of a spread or hotter of a core? Or is that exactly what you're looking to see? And maybe what other combos do you want to see me run those shells through? Or what other shells do you want to see me put through that Avian-X in that Mossberg 500? Let me know all that down below. But with that being said, I've got some more testing to get done for you guys, so I'm going to get back to it. As always, we have the channel Instagram as well as the mailbox where you can send stuff if you'd like. All the information will be in the description if you're interested in it. But I'm going to get back to it, so I'll see y'all in the next one.